what's up guys, it's Lost Curve. Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're going to be ranking all of the characters currently in Multiverses. So, I always do one of these every single update. And I don't know if you guys have been keeping track of them because, sometimes, YouTube decides to push some of them to the recommended and sometimes not. I will be making these every single patch within the first few days of it coming out. So if you want to follow these more closely, make sure you drop a sub because I will be uploading these every single time there's a new update, and I'm trying to make them as accurate to the current meta as possible because there's always different evolutions that happen. So let's talk about what I think day one of the new update, who I think is the best, who I think, change in order a lot, because there was a lot of very drastic nerfs and changes this patch. There's also been a lot of meta updates that have, or not updates, but more like people's opinions have changed, right? So we're going to be changing a lot of this order. A lot of things have changed, and I'm very curious to see how this goes. So we're going to start from the bottom to the top. So the first thing is Jake is a little bit weaker this patch. Definitely getting some more whiff lag on his more powerful moves. Like if I'm looking at his patch notes right now, it looks like he got a little bit more on his Nair and his Sair. And even though his dodge meter did get buffed like everybody else, I wouldn't say that he's currently in a spot where I think he's the best character in the game. I think he should be moved down a place or two. Now, speaking of Batman did get a small nerf this patch, got a few frames on his Fair, which was arguably one of his best moves, but now side air 2 should work online and should be usable, which makes him, a lot better because, Zoo, who is one of the best Batman players, was complaining a lot about the issue with Sair 2. So having a brand new move you can actually use online now just makes him better. And also another thing that made him great is that Gizmo just got nerfed, which is one of his worst matchups, and I believe Rick might have been too. So I think that definitely fixed his overall ability to perform in this patch, and I think his matchups will continue to get better. Harley is still untouched, and I actually would argue, this is going to be a hot take, guys, flaming hot take incoming, Harley's better than Jake. I think this character is so severely underplayed, and I am shocked she didn't get nerfed this patch. Not only did she get a small buff in the form of getting more dodge, but she also continuously watches all of the characters around her get nerfed as she gets untouched. I think this character is severely underplayed. I think this character has so many kill confirms horizontally, vertically, insane combo potential, and even though her loop system is getting a little bit of a nerf, she still can consistently get 30 to 40% off touching her. She has good camping potential. The only thing that's the problem with her is that she consistently can have a little bit of bugs that interact with her gameplay, but overall, she's such a good ones character, man. Like, I don't understand why you would want to consider this character weak whenever they just have so much in their arsenal, man. I feel like he didn't really get any sort of nerfs. I still think he's a great character. He's in the same spot he used to be. The biggest thing with Shaggy is just his cheese is so dumb. Like, you can literally kill with Sandwich on Batcave at like 50 or 30. It's so crazy. His charge is just so good. He never really has, like, he never really is in a disadvantage. He always can catch up. And he also has some great ways to get back to stage, good mobility, and he always can force an approach whenever he wants to. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with this character. Rick, I still think is really good, but I think he deserves to go down here. I still think he's amazing, but definitely the nerfs are going to hit him pretty hard. And I think that he's, definitely viable to be dropped down quite a bit. I still think he's an amazing character, but I would argue he's more of top of S. Steven is in the same boat. He did get a small nerf this patch, which I do, and I don't think he's on par with these 4 characters at the top whatsoever. And that'll change soon with another character who's going to be added to the top. Taz, I think, was overrating a little bit. I think he's a little bit worse than Finn and Superman by quite a bit. I think he's worse than Finn and Superman. So I do believe that I was overestimating him a little bit. I won't even lie. Wonder Woman has climbed to the 2nd or 3rd best character in the game. Wonder Woman, despite her nerfs this patch, she's just so goddamn good. Just because her ground neutral attack got 1 more frame of startup does not still mean it's one of the most insane moves in the game. You also can't instant cancel on hit, which stops the air up special ladder combos, which is, I mean, it's a small effect onto her kit, and her down attack got nerfed really hard, and I think this hit her pretty hard. Down attack definitely got the nerf it needed, and is a little bit weaker. So whenever you whiff it, you get 8 frames of punish time, or 8 more frames of punish time, which definitely makes her weaker. So on second thought, she might be a little bit, in the Shaggy area, I would say. Probably a little bit worse than Jake, but still an insane character who I was underestimating a lot. Bugs is still pretty good. I think he might actually be between Taz. I think he might actually be better than Taz. I think that right now, in the current meta, I think that Bugs feels stronger this patch. I don't really know how else to describe it. He just feels overall stronger, and I feel like, you know, with the pace of the game slowing down a little bit, and his aerial still being insane, his combo game still being insane, I don't really see what would make him anything lower than S. Now, if we're talking about Rain Dog, still think the character's super good. His loop is still not fixed. He's really strong, and I think that, again, people are starting to realize how good he is. Tom and Jerry also was severely underrated. After I went labbing with this character, I kind of realized he's more insane than I ever predicted he would be. I think he's in Bug's area. I actually think I would argue that he might end up being in this S tier by the end of this patch. I think Tom and Jerry players need to stop denying and underplaying how good he actually is. And I think I'm going to dedicate some time over these next few weeks to try to make Tom and Jerry my secondary again and show you guys just how good he actually feels this patch, because I practiced him in the lab and he feels insane. And it looks like they just don't want to keep him off the top tier. They just love whenever the you know, mages are top tier. So looks like Tom and Jerry is going to keep his spot at the S tier. Morty, I think, has maintained his same spot, you know, in the current meta. And after this nerfs, I think he definitely stays in this tier. I still think he's an insane character. I still think he's a lot of potential. But, I don't know. After this patch, I don't really think he got any favors done for him. In fact, I'd argue he'd be moved down a spot under LeBron, because LeBron is starting to be crazy. And that's why I think LeBron is also going to go up here. LeBron is around the Rain Dog area. These two characters are very gimmicky, but still really good characters. And I think they have a lot of potential to climb up in the meta. Again, there's a lot of good characters in this patch, so it's hard to like, you know, keep a smaller list than this. But they are ordered, trust me, so keep that in mind. Arya also moves up a lot this patch. She got a huge buff, and I think she's on Finn's level now. I think she has an insane amount of kill power. Her up air is now true. You know, into itself doesn't just stop out of itself. There's less KBI, which means there's not as much DI influence you have over her up special. Her bug fixes came in where she doesn't have to worry about face steal lagging out the game. You know, her dodge meter obviously got a small buff, and other things like that have just consistently made her a lot better of a character. And I also think people are starting to realize, you know, how good she is already, because I'm seeing a lot of Aryas pop up again. So definitely think Arya will be really good this patch and compete amongst the top. As a final touch, I think I do want to move Rick down a few spots, because I forgot about his ammo change, and that definitely affects him a lot. His ammo, the ammo change definitely needed to happen with Rick, because, dude, the projectile spammy gameplay was just so good. Whenever I used it on Rick, I felt like I was getting so much effective results out of it. So having that less campy ability against those, you know, really rush down characters really helps him be more in line with the game, in my opinion. Looking at more of these characters, I think it's fair to say Velma can go up one more spot. I actually think she competes a little bit better than Iron Giant. I have some great news for you guys. I officially think I can move Garnet out of the A tier, baby. We don't need it anymore. When I name the bottom tier, no more Garnet. Woohoo! Because now Garnet can consistently compete in this tier where Velma, Iron Giant, and Garnet relay. Still 3 really good characters in ones, but I think that Garnet, with her fist hitboxes being fixed, with everybody's dodges being in line so the game is less fast-paced, you know, with her having a lot more of her moves be more consistent, I think it can definitely consolidate her as way more of a better character. I think people are starting to pick her up and make her a lot better as well, and optimizing her, so I think she's definitely starting to climb up there. And I think that these 3 characters, despite being lower than Gizmo and Morty, are still 3 great characters that you can easily climb with if you really set your mind to it. Alright, and I think this is all I'm really going to need to finish off my tier list. Let me know what you guys think about this tier list. I genuinely think Iron Giant is just not that great. I think people are starting to realize how to counter him, and also the more, you know, nerfs he gets and stuff like that, and the less bugs Iron Giant players can abuse, then the weaker he gets. So yeah, fortunately there's no more A tier characters in this game. I think it's A+, potential to be S, and S+. I don't think the character balance is super jarring in this game, and I think that's amazing. That's one of the best things about this game, so I think we should continue to push for them to make better, you know, balance changes, because I think the balance changes have only been getting better. I think these balance changes were a lot better than people keep saying. I like what they did with dodges to make the game less fast-paced and make it more, you know, consistent, and I also just, you know, really enjoy this new update. So let me know what you guys think on these patch notes. What you guys think is the best character. Who do you guys think needs a nerf next patch? Who do you guys think went under the radar? Let me know. I still think Batman, Harley, Jake are the three, you know, I think these three are still standing amongst the best in the game. I think Wonder Woman finally started to fall down, and I think as a final closing note, I would order it this way. I would say these three are in their own tier, kind of. Wonder Woman and Shaggy are in the same boat in terms of how cheesy and good they can be. I would say Superman, Steven, Rick, Finn are all in their own 4 category. I'd say Arya, Bugs, Tom and Jerry, Taz. Right after that would be LeBron, Rain Dog, and then we have Morty, Gizmo. I would say LeBron, Rain Dog, Morty, Gizmo are all 4 in the same boat in terms of, like, you know, just kind of strength. I just think these 2 have a little bit less potential. Now, you guys might be thinking, unfortunately, there's no Stripe in this specific tier list, but if I had to put Stripe here, I would have to personally put him around the Bugs and Taz area. I think he has a lot of potential as a character. I think that his gun is insane and one of the best moves in the game, considering you can't really counter it. I think there's a lot of different things you can do with his ladder combos. I think there's a lot of things you can do with his combos in general. Just day one, people are just doing crazy things with him. So very exciting to see him come into the game. Definitely want to make him one of my secondaries. And yeah, and also if you guys are watching this trying to learn Stripe, make sure you check out my Stripe guide I released yesterday. Should help you out figure out how to play. And then these 3 characters are all still really good. They're just not really meant for ones, in my opinion. At least Velma and Iron Giant. I think Velma and Iron Giant dominate 2s, but aren't really meant for ones. And then Garnet is just slowly coming back up here. So yeah. Overall, that's my thoughts on the tiers this patch, guys. Hope you guys agree with me. What's your guys' opinions? Whatever your opinions are, just leave them in the comments below. Have a discussion with some people, and let's see if there's any opinions you'd want me to change up on. Thank you guys so much for coming by. See you guys next time. Peace out.